Good morning, class. As you can see, we are going to discuss on the topic of current electricity, under which we are going to discuss on this video on electric current and potential difference and EMF. To understand the electric current, we first have to understand the electrostatics, the concept of electrostatics. What is electrostatic? The branch of physics which deals with electric effect of static charge is called electrostatics. Here are two figures in which electrostatic charge are built up on the hair of a girl are shown. What is electric charge? As you know, all the concept of mechanics are depends on the mass, which is the basic fundamental concept of mechanics. But they never told us about what mass really is. Similarly, in case of electricity, the basic concept is charge, but they tell us how the charge behaves, but never tell us what it is. The discovery of charges was made by Thales of Miletus of Greece around 600 BC. He first rubbed the amber with wool and he found that amber attracts dry leaves of plants and feather of the bird. The property which differentiates two kinds of charge are called polarity of charge. There are two types of charge. One is positive charge and another is negative charge. And these were named by American scientist Benjamin Franklin. Unification of electricity and magnetism. Generally, charge related topics are divided into two types. First type is study of static charge, that is electrostatics, which we have discussed in the first slide, and the electrodynamics, in which we are studied on the dynamic nature or about the nature of the moving charge, the characteristics of a moving charge, or when the charge moves, what properties does they show, that we'll discuss in the part of electrodynamics. In the old days, electricity and magnetism are treated as separate subjects. Lorentz put forward a theory where they show the interdependence of these two subjects. That means electricity depends on magnetism and magnetism depends on electricity, which means with the help of electricity we can produce magnetic effect, and with the help of magnetism we can produce electricity. After that, electricity and magnetism togetherly known as electromagnetism. This is known as unification of electricity and magnetism. Electric charge. Charge is a property of a material body due to which the body gets charged and it becomes positively or negatively charged and experiences electrical and magnetic effect. Where do charges come from? As you know, every matter is made up of numerous number of atoms. An atom is consist of proton, neutron and electron, which commonly known as subatomic particles or main subatomic particles. The structure of an atom, which you have read in class 9, that is shown in this picture, that in the nucleus or center of the atom there exist proton and neutron. Green ones are proton and red ones are neutron. The proton and neutrons remains in the nucleus. The yellow one are the electron, which rotates or revolves around the nucleus in circular orbit, which is the Bohr-Rutherford model of atom. As you know, protons are positively charged and neutron has no charge. The green ones are the positive and red ones are the neutral. So the total charge of the nucleus became positive and the charge of the electron is negative. So the yellow ones are the negative. As you can see in this figure, the number of proton, that is green one, is 3 and the number of electron, that is the yellow one, is 3. So the number of proton or the positive charge and the number of electron, that is the negative charge, are equal. Hence an atom remains neutral in nature. But if an electron is removed from the outermost shell of an atom, then the number of electron is 2 and the number of protons remains 3. Hence, the atom becomes positively charged. As there is 3 proton, so the charge of the atom is plus 3. After the release of the valence electron or electron of the last orbital, then there remains only the 2 electron. So there will be 2 minus charge. So 3 plus charge and minus 2 charge. So the net charge will be plus 1. Hence the atom becomes positively charged, and this type of atom is known as cation. If an electron is absorbed by this atom, then the total number of negative charge will be 4, but the total number of positive charge will be 3. So in this case, the atom will be negatively charged. It will be called as anion. So when an electron is absorbed by an atom, then it becomes negatively charged, as there is an excess of electron. And when an atom releases an electron, then it becomes positively charged. That means deficit of electron. Now a question will arise in your mind that only electron can be removed or accepted. If the proton is removed, then what will happen? In this case, an atom cannot accept or remove protons, because in the nucleus there is a force called nuclear force, which is the strongest force in this nature and which held them inside the nucleus. But in case of the valence electron, they are loosely bound with the nucleus by Coulomb's attractive force or electrostatic force. Hence we can easily remove the electron of the valence shell by friction or rubbing or giving some amount of heat energy or light energy, or by giving some amount of potential difference. In this way the charge can be formed in a body. Properties of charge. Charges are two types, A positive and B negative, which we have said earlier. Like charges repel each other, like positive and positive will repel each other. This is the positive one, and this repels this positive charge rod. So this rod is repelled in this side, and in this case negative and negative also repel each other because they are the like charges, and unlike charges will attract each other. In this case, as you can see, this is the positive one and attracting the negative one. So in this figure, unlike charges attract each other, and like charges like positive positive or negative negative will repel each other. Conservation of charge. In an isolated system means a system that does not take or release any amount of charge with its surroundings, or in other words you can say that isolated system is a type of system which is separated from its surrounding. So in case of an isolated system, sum of total charge remain constant whatever the change take place in that system. That means in case of heat flow, thermal flux is an example of isolated system in which no exchange of heat, that means no outflow of heat and no inflow of heat will take place, and in ideal thermoflux total amount of heat will remain constant. So similarly, in case of charge, total charge remain constant. In the next topic, quantization of charge. Charge is quantized. Charge of a particle or a body always an integral multiple the charge of electron. This is the concept, that is the minimum charge exists in this universe is the charge of electron. From this concept, the charge of proton is also same as the charge of electron, and as any body is being charged by rubbing or heating or any other means of method, we see that a body gets charged by releasing or accepting electron. So they cannot release half of electron or half of electron can be absorbed. So if a body gets charged, it will must release an integral multiple of electron, that is must be 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 electrons, or the body can be accept 1 electron or 2 electron or 3 electron, etc. So the charge of a body is always in an integral number of the charge of an electron. If the body releases 1 electron, then the charge of the body will be E. If it releases 2 electrons, then it will be plus 2E. And if it releases 3 electrons, then the charge of the body becomes plus 3E. So when a body gets charged by releasing or accepting electron, it will be integral number of the charge of electron, that is E. Here the value of N should be 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. And the charge of one electron is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb approximately. Charge is always associated with the mass, and charge can exist without mass, though mass can exist without charge. A body can be charged by removing or accepting electron, and the electron remains inside an atom, and the mass is made up of atoms. Hence the charge is always associated with the mass. But charge can't exist without mass. That means in mass or matter or atom, without atom or subatomic particle, charge can't exist. Similarly, mass can exist with or without charge. That is, if the mass exists with charge, then the body or mass is called charged. And if the mass exists without charge, then the body is called neutral. Charge is relativistic invariant. That means if the body is moving with the speed nearly equals to the speed of light, then its value will not change. Charge is a scalar quantity as it has only magnitude and it do not have any direction, and its SI unit is coulomb and it is written with capital C. A charge at rest produces only electric field around itself. Electric field means a field or region around a charge within which if we bring another charge, then it will observe electrostatic, attractive or repulsive force. So a charge at rest can produce only electric field. That means a charge with moving can produce electric field along with another field, that is magnetic field. So a moving charge will produce electric and magnetic field both, and an accelerated charge emits electromagnetic radiation. Light is an example of electromagnetic radiation. This is not the only light that we can see. The light which we can see or the electromagnetic radiation which we can see is known as visible light. The light can be divided into 7 types, and the another type of light which we cannot see, that are radio wave, which is used for transmission of radio signal. The next type is the microwave, which we use in our cooking purpose. That instrument produces microwave, which is a type of electromagnetic radiation. The next type is infrared ray. Human beings along with plants and other animals releases infrared ray all the time, and this infrared ray can be sensed by snake, and also the non-living thing, it radiates infrared ray during cooling. Another type of electromagnetic radiation is UV radiation. This type of radiation are emitted when electrons are releasing energy to attain their ground state configuration from an excited state. UV radiation, which is harmful for us. And the next one is X-ray, which is produced by slowing down a charged particle inside an atom. In SI system, the unit of charge is coulomb. 1 coulomb is defined as if we place two equal and similar charge. That means if the charge of one substance is plus Q, then the charge of the other substance will be plus Q, and similar means both should be positive or both should be negative. Hence they will feel an repulsive force which is equal to the 9 into 10 to the power 9 Newton when the two charge plus Q and plus Q or minus Q are placed 1 meter apart from each other in vacuum. In CGS system, in here the CGS electrostatic system. So in electrostatic system, the unit of charge is ESU of charge or stat coulomb. Here the full form of ESU is electrostatic unit. Another unit of charge in CGS electromagnetic system is amp coulomb or EMU of charge, and here the full form of EMU is electromagnetic unit. Here are few relation between EMU of the charge and ESU of the charge and 1 coulomb. In this figure, you see a man playing water skies, and the forces acting on the man are electrostatic force and the gravitational force. The electric interaction between adjacent molecules give rise to the force of water on the sky, and the tension on the rope and the resistance of the air on the sky Earth's body are all electric interaction. So every type of interaction we feel in our daily life are mainly electromagnetic interaction. Like we can hear a sound with the help of electromagnetic interaction. Our nerve pulses are electromagnetic pulses, and everything we can do by the help of electromagnetic interaction between the bodies. And the only non-electric forces that are acting on the sky body is the force of gravity. This is the checkpoint, and here are few questions for you. These two questions you have to answer. In this line, this says that charge is like a baton in relay race. It can be passed from one object to another, but it isn't lost. So it means that charge can be transferred from one body to another body, but it cannot be lost. Now check the answer of the checkpoint. Now, in the next topic, we are discussing about Coulomb's law. As we have discussed earlier, there are two types of charge. One is positive and another is negative. And if the charges on the two objects are the same, then they will repulse each other. And if the charges on the two body are different type of, if one body contains positive charge, then the another body is negative charge, then they will feel an attractive force. So these are the two types of electrostatic force. One type is attractive force and another type is repulsive force. Here Coulomb has calculated the magnitude of electrostatic force between the two charged body. So Coulomb says that the electrostatic force should be proportional to the product of the charges. That is, if the charge on the body is plus q1 and in this body is plus q2, then Coulomb says that the attractive force F is proportional to product, that means multiplication of q1 and q2, that is F proportional to q1 and q2. And in the second point, Coulomb says that if the distance between these two objects are r, then force will be inversely proportional to r square. So here F is proportional to q1 q2 and F is inversely proportional to r square. R is the distance between the two charges. If the both charges are of same type or similar type, then they will feel a repulsive force of same or equal magnitude. And if the two particles are of opposite charge, then they will feel an attractive force of equal amount, and that will be k into q1 q2 by r square, where k is the Coulomb constant and q1 q2 are the charges of the bodies and r is the distance between the two bodies. For vacuum, k is 1 in CGS system and 9 into 10 to the power 9 Newton meter square per Coulomb square in SI system. So in CGS, F equals to Q1 Q2 by R square for vacuum if we put K equals to 1 in this equation. If Q1 equals to Q2 equals to Q, that means both the charge are of same amount and they are placed 1 centimeter apart, and if the force is 1 dyne, if the attractive or repulsive force is 1 dyne, then we put F equals to 1 here and Q1 and Q2 equals to Q. So Q into Q becomes Q square and R equals to 1. Then it will become 1 square equals to 1. Then Q square equals to 1. Hence Q equals to 1. That means Q equals to plus minus 1 stat coulomb. Relative permittivity or dielectric constant or specific inductive capacity, dielectric coefficient. Permittivity means the amount of electric field that will resist by the substance is known as permittivity. So epsilon r, the relative permittivity, is the ratio. Ratio means division. So is the ratio between the absolute permittivity of the medium, that is epsilon, and to the permittivity of the free space, that is epsilon 0. It sometimes denoted by capital K, that is dielectric constant. The dielectric constant signifies, or permittivity signifies, that how much amount of electric field it can resist. The dielectric constant or relative permittivity or specific inductive capacity also be defined as the ratio of electrostatic force between the two charges separated by a certain distance in vacuum to the electrostatic force between the same two charges separated by the same distance in that medium. So electrostatic force in vacuum and electrostatic force in that medium, that is K equals to epsilon r equals to Fv. That means force in vacuum by Fm, force in that medium. Dielectric constant K has no unit. It is a ratio of the same type of quantity. Dielectric constant and Coulomb constant are different things but denoted by the same symbol, so don't confuse. Now we are going to discuss about electromotive force and potential difference. Then we will discuss about electric current. Here you can see that it is a battery and this is a bulb, and the battery is connected with the bulb. So here in the red line, this shows that the conventional current flow in the red line, that is from the positive terminal to the negative terminal, and in the blue line or in the blue arrow, it shows that the electron flow in the conventional method, that is from the negative end of the battery to the positive end of the battery. Why do we need a battery to make up the bulb light up? Light up a bulb, we need battery to produce current. What is the role of battery in the circuit? The battery is used in this circuit as a voltage source. Now here is two figure. In one figure it is shown that a pipe, and within that pipe water is flown from X to Y, and here is a figure in which free electrons are moving from point A to point B. In this context, water flow is compared with the electric current, that is the flow of charge. Like water flows when there is a pressure difference between the 2 points. Similarly, the electrons will flow or charges will flow when there is a potential difference. Since here the pressure difference is compared with the potential difference and water flow is compared with the flow of electron. Here water pump is the source which creates a pressure difference between the 2 points X and Y. X is at higher pressure and Y is at lower pressure. So the water is flow from X towards Y, and in this process water pump helps to flow the water continuously. Otherwise it will flow from X to Y and they will balance the pressure between X and Y, and then the flow of the water will stop. But if we add this water pump, then this water pump will help to maintain the pressure difference between X and Y. So the water will continuously flow from X to Y. Similarly, if we put a cell or battery or energy device or source in a circuit, then it will help to maintain a potential difference between the two ends, and hence it will help to flow the electrons from point A to point B through the circuit. What is electromotive? Here says that the source must have to do a work to drive a unit positive charge around a complete circuit, and this work done is known as electromotive force. In other words, we can say that the electromotive force helps to move the charge from higher potential region to lower potential region, and it is known as EMF. So electromotive force is the work done per unit charge, where epsilon is the EMF of the electrical energy source, W is the work done, and Q is the amount of charge. SI unit of EMF is volt. Now series arrangement, that means one end of the first battery will connect it to the other end of the second battery. This type of connection is known as series connection. If we connect two cells in series connection, then the total EMF will be sum of the two EMF of the two cell, that is 1.5 and 1.5. The total EMF of the series connection will be 3 volt. But when we connected in parallel connection means all the positive terminals are connected in one place and all the negative terminals are connected in another place. So this type of connection is known as parallel connection. If two voltage sources of similar magnitude are connected in parallel, then resultant EMF will be 1.5 volt. Battery is not a current source, it is a voltage source, because with the increase or decrease in resistance, the value of current or magnitude of current will change. So battery is not a current source, it is a voltage source, because the potential difference between the two ends of the battery will not change by changing the resistance of the external circuit. What is potential difference? So to know the potential difference, first we have to know about the potential. The term potential you have heard in the chapter of work power energy in class 9. You heard the term potential energy, that is the amount of energy stored in a body due to their change in shape or change in their position. Here potential means the amount of work done required to bring an unit positive charge inside an electric field from infinite. That means if we put 2 points, one is A and another is B, then the amount of work done required to bring a unit positive charge from infinite to that point A is known as potential of that point A, that is VA. And if we bring another unit positive charge from infinite to point B, then the work done to bring that unit positive charge is known as potential of point B, that is VB. If we want to bring an unit positive charge from point B to point A, then this work done will be equal to potential difference between these 2 points. What I have said, that the potential difference between these 2 points to bring the unit positive charge to point A, that is VA, and to bring a unit positive charge to point B, that is the work done, is VB. So the difference between the work done is potential difference, which is the amount of work done to bring a charge from point B to point A or vice versa. So again, V is the work done to bring an unit positive charge. So V is equals to W by Q, where W is the work done and V is the potential difference and Q is the amount of charge. To honor Alexander Volta, the unit of electric potential is measured in volt. So the unit of EMF is also volt. Electromotive force and potential difference. There is some basic difference. Electromotive force associated with the electrical energy source, that is dry cell or any other type of battery, but potential difference is associated with the 2 points in an electrical circuit. It is the work done by a source driving a unit charge around a complete circuit, but potential difference is the work done to drive a unit charge through the 2 points of an electrical component, that is fan, light, etc. This means that when electric current is flowing, then we can have potential difference between the two ends of any electrical appliances or electrical element, circuit element. But we can have electromotive force even while no current is flowing through the circuit, that is the circuit is open circuit. But if the circuit is open, then there will be no potential difference because no current is flowing through the circuit element. Here is another checkpoint and do it yourself. What is electricity? Electricity is a form of energy that can be easily changed. Electric current is formed by moving charges. Definition of electric current is: electric current is a measure of rate of flow of electric charge through a given cross section of a conductor. To calculate the rate of flow, we have to divide with time. That means I equals to Q by T. Q is charge, T is time, and I is current. So SI unit of current is ampere. So a current of 1 ampere is a flow of charge at the rate of 1 coulomb per second. That means 1 ampere means 1 coulomb per second. There is two type of current, electric current. One is direct current or DC current, and another is alternating current or AC current. In case of direct current, the name direct signifies that direction of the current is fixed, that is the current flow in one direction. But in case of alternating current, the name alternating suggests that the current will alternate its direction, that means change its direction periodically. So how do you measure current? This is an instrument named ammeter. With the help of this instrument, that means ammeter, we can measure current in an electrical circuit placed in series connection with the circuit. We often think of current flowing through a circuit, but it is a wrong concept. The meaning of current is also flowing. So current cannot flow. Here electric current means the flow of charge. If we say wind current, then that means wind is flowing. If we say water current, that means water is flowing. Electric current. Conventional current and electric flow. Before the discovery of electrons, scientists believed that the electric current was caused by the movement of positive charge, that we have discussed in the first slide of this topic. Although this idea was later proven wrong, and the idea remains that the current will flow from higher potential to lower potential. Conventional current was the flow of positive charge, but the modern concept says electron or free electron will move through the electric conductor from negative end to the positive end. As we have discussed earlier, electricity can produce magnetic effect, and magnetism can produce electric effect, and this concept was first postulated by Ampere. So to honor Andre Marie Ampere, the Newton of electricity, we use the unit of current as ampere. Here is another checkpoint. Do it yourself. Now, here is the 4 important question which frequently came in Madhyamik exam. Thank you.